Hi you, King here, and today we'll be talking about the possible future of the Absolute DC. You know, just like everybody else, I was kind of skeptic going into this Absolute DC, but just like everybody else, I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, the art, the way it looks, the storytelling, it's all so good, and I just became super invested immediately reading Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, and Absolute Wonder Woman, following their issues regardless of it taking months for them to come out. And I am definitely hyped for Absolute Flash, Absolute Green Lantern, and Absolute Martian Manhunter. But I think just like a few other people, I've come to notice something that has me theorizing like a madman. I'm like, wait, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, and Martian Manhunter. That line of characters as a team seems familiar. And people growing up in the early 2000s would recognize that lineup as the team that was the Justice League for the Justice League animated series going into the Justice League Unlimited animated series, with Hawkgirl being the only one missing. And with this spinning off of Absolute Power, with another spin-off being a Justice League Unlimited comic, I'm really thinking they were heavily inspired by the Justice League animated series, especially because that cartoon series made such an impact on the overall zeitgeist that is DC Comics and the cinematic universe on top of that. So it got me theorizing, especially because Hawkgirl is one of the prime characters coming out of James Gunn's DCU Superman movie. And I'm thinking to kind of synergize with that an Absolute Hawkgirl issue will be coming out. And it will be reminiscent of the Justice League animated series cartoon. But I know what some of y'all are thinking. Some of y'all who are already heavily deep into all of the news and information regarding this Absolute DC, that you're saying, yeah, I get it. The lineup is pretty much the same, but the Green Lantern that they are using isn't John Stewart, it's Jo Mullein, I think is her name. And yeah, but I also heard from the mouth of the writer himself that they wanted it to be John Stewart as the main character for that Absolute Green Lantern, but they felt that for the type of John Stewart that they were making, that it wasn't going to give off the same energy, so they wanted it to be someone younger, someone new that a younger generation could relate to more. So they decided to make it Jo Mullein, which, come on, she's still like a prominent black character as a Green Lantern. So it's pretty much the same character, the way John Stewart was for us when some of us was expecting Hal Jordan to be the Green Lantern for the animated series Justice League cartoon. Instead, they wanted someone new and someone more not just representational for black people, but also relatable for the younger generation. And that's why they decided to make it John Stewart. So what I'm just trying to say is they've practically made the Justice League cartoon line their Absolute DC Justice League. That if these characters eventually all start coming together and make a Justice League, it'll be the absolute version of the Justice League from the Justice League animated series cartoon. And I think that's pretty awesome because it shows that Scott Snyder, that is, helming all of this, was really inspired, like most people, by that Justice League cartoon. And it also got me theorizing who might also accompany Absolute Hawkgirl in her issue line run with the months to come. And I'm thinking maybe it'll also be Absolute Green Arrow and Absolute Mr. Terrific. Absolute Green Arrow because during the Justice League Unlimited run of the cartoon, like when it went into its new series, Green Arrow was like a more prominent character. Like he was introduced in the Unlimited series, but he became a prominent character of the main Justice League team. Of course, the Justice League team branched out to multiple heroes and it became more like an army, but there was still like a select few that were recurring characters throughout the multitude of episodes, and Green Arrow was one of them. Now, Mr. Terrific wasn't like that. He wasn't really recurring throughout the episodes, but I'm guessing, for synergy's sake, and because he did have a couple of prominent episodes in the Justice League Unlimited series, that they would want more black representation, and a really cool character that's now more prominent in the zeitgeist because he will also be appearing in James Gunn's Superman movie for the DCU, that they'll make an Absolute Mr. Terrific to go with an Absolute Hawkgirl and Absolute Green Arrow. And then boom, there you go. You have your Absolute Justice League with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, Hawkgirl, Green Arrow possibly, and Mr. Terrific possibly. Which I feel like would make it more dope than the regular Justice League. And I'm just stoked for it. I'm hyped. I can't wait for it. I'm hoping it goes down this route and we can have an Absolute Justice League first versing our regular Justice League and then, beating the crap out of them because of how more used to battle they are. And then eventually, they fix the whole miscommunication. They turn the Absolute Justice League more onto their side and they team up to fight against Darkseid's, I guess, evil legion of superheroes. But only time will tell. either way, I'm loving the Absolute DC line, and I'm hoping they do more with it. And I'm really hoping that I'm right with my theory on Scott Snyder really being, inspired by the Justice League animated series, and he really had like a lot of the other writers and comic book makers watch that cartoon to be inspired as to what they were going to do for an Absolute DC line. But yeah, it's been fun talking to you guys about it. I hope you enjoyed this video enough to press that like button, comment down below your thoughts and theories on the Absolute DC line, and ring that notification bell so you know first when videos like this drop. Until the next video, stay great.